So I have this KitchenAid mixer that hasn't been maintained, hasn't had the grease serviced on it ever. Gonna turn it on. Sounds pretty good. But you hear there's like little clicking. So maybe this food grade grease I bought quite a bit of it, should be plenty. Happens to come with the two different kinds of gaskets that KitchenAid mixers come with. So I'm gonna take a shot at doing this, and I'm gonna record my successes and failures as I go along. So there. So here we go. Don't know. I might have to stop from time to time and refer to some videos on how to do this. Oh, see, I'm already in trouble. I think I had to take this apart once before, and this screw is stripped out on me. Huh. Because that would be that's the first thing you gotta do. Let's get that out of there. Well, that's a bummer. Let's see. Did I bring anything? I don't have anything that'll work on that. Oh, there we go. That. Wonder how I did that. I must have needed to service this for something before. But anyway. The first thing is that this back plate comes off. And we'll put that to the side. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. This isn't this is the more difficult one. Take these out. Because this is their speed control. You adjust it with this screw that's there. And hopefully I can remember how that all works without screwing things up. This comes off just like that, and put that off to the side. Turn this around. So this has to come off. Take that completely out. And I think I'm going to have to. Okay, this ring has to come down. Ah, yes. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to refresh my memory. But there is, on the bottom here, this ring has to come off. These two screws. And I don't remember if the entire base has to come off yet or not. So let me pause that video and we will come back. when I know a little better about how to do this. All right, so here's the deal. This ring has to come off, and you just tap it gently, and it comes right off. And then these 4 screws got to come off, and the whole head. Oh, wait a minute. Then he said that there's a pin here that I got to punch out, because that pin is what holds it on. So I don't have the punch that he said is needed for this. I'm going to try this, see what I can do. Yep, he said they could be stubborn. Let me try it this way. Lay it on its side. I can a little better angle on it. May have to find something better to punch that out with. Yeah, because that ain't moving. All right, what am I gonna do? I may be stopping right there or not being able to do this. Well, it moved. Just keep going. Just takes a little, took a little more than I anticipated, but it wasn't bad. So then this drive should just come down, he said. Just kind of wiggle it off of there. Well, so he said. Okay, do I have to pry it, or? Because it seems like it's stuck right there. It's just. Yeah, it's just really stubborn. There. So, you can see, not bad. It's kind of, don't see any pieces or anything, so hopefully the gears are still in good shape. So there's that. I gotta pull the base off. This is going to be a greasy mess. That's wonderful. And so he did it where this was left upright, and he cautioned. So and he said, when you take that last screw off, this head could just fall. So he wanted you, he's cautioned to be really careful with that. But I am going to be a little different. I'm going to do that. Let's see if I have the right screwdriver for this. go get a different screwdriver. So the guy in the video I've been referencing gives you all the tools and whatnot, but I am going to have to see what I have available to myself here. Holy moly. That's no joke. All right. Be right back. See if I have clearance for this. Don't know. There we go. Let me just get them all loosened up. Okay, that should just come right off. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right. So step 2, or 3 or 4, whatever it is, these screws here got to come out. And then let me just make sure I'm not missing something. Here we go. There's these guys back here and those, so all of these got to come out. So here we go. What's nice is, even though they use different screws, I think it'd be hard to mix them up. So that's always important. I'm trying to put things back together. Where the heck do all the different pieces go? All right, now if I'm not mistaken, this just comes right off. Well, kind of. Looks like it comes right off. Oh, what a gorgeous mess. Oh, ugly. All right. Believe it or not, I'm not sure regreasing this thing is going to help it. But maybe it will. Let me pause the video. I think I have gloves. I have nitro gloves. I am not going to try to do this in a way that's not going to be disgusting. But all of this grease has to come out. That's the first thing. So let's take a pause. All right. So I found the gloves, and I need something to get all the grease out of the little crevices. I don't have all the nice little tools that I might want to have for something like this. But let's see. Oh, of course, these gloves aren't my size. I think I can make it work. That's good. So I'm going to use a kitchen knife, butter knife, to see what I can do. And let's just do one glove. We'll put all the grease in a bowl, figure out how to get rid of it later. So we'll just pull all what I can out of there. And the gasket has to come out. Oh, interesting. This gasket is actually, do I want to reuse that gasket? Don't know, but looks like I have one brand new one in that packet. Let me just set that aside. See, that might be made out of a material I can reuse. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So the guy in the video was needing to replace gears. And so he went through the whole process of not just replacing the grease, but replacing the gears that are up here. And let's reach down in here, get some of that out of there. Oh boy. And what's this I got going on? Yep. Trying not to make too much of a mess here if I can help it. Tell you what, I am going to pause the video and keep on working on this. All right. Well, I guess not too surprising is cleaning this is one of the hardest parts of doing this job. I mean, I still got grease in places where I wouldn't even know to look. So, but I think it's as clean as it needs to be. In the video I'm going to reference, that goes through this a lot more thoroughly than I did. He removes this gear assembly, and because on his there were teeth that were broken and it needed to be replaced, if I remember right. But I got this about as clean as I think it needs to be, and I've decided that I'm going to reuse the gasket, and it only goes on one way. It has a key pin here, so that's not a worry. But then basically he took the grease and he just kind of slathered it all over the place. And so yeah, one of the things he did, when he took it off, he made sure he pushed a bunch of grease into this area when he took it off. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start just by pushing a bunch of grease down into here. And make sure this is all really well covered. Did I mention, it goes over it in the video, but there's a pin here you don't want to lose. It just floats. Don't want to lose that. And so we're just going to put a bunch on here. I think I'm going to run it around. Make sure it's really in there. And you can see it's mixing with the old grease. I mean, if you really wanted to do a AAA job, I guess you'd have to just clean it all thoroughly. Then you just continue just piling the grease in here. And make sure you get it on all of these guys. I'm going to spin this around. See, if I do that, I can see where it's just not going to be the way I want it. So, yeah. And you got to go over here. Make sure this gets packed. There's this thing that comes out. Gotta make sure you get grease in there real good. And on this, I guess if you knew what you were doing, it's a lot easier. Not sure how much I know what I'm doing here. But I figure, what's the worst that can happen? Gotta get a new one. I guess that would be the worst thing that could happen. But you get plenty of grease on this. And I bought the larger size. This is 6 ounce. Looks like maybe the smaller size would have been enough. But you can never be, you know, for a couple bucks, it's worth knowing that you have enough. And so let's just make sure I got this. Don't think you can put too much. It'll just kind of work its way where it needs to be, and that'll be the end of that. All right. let me go this way with it, because the pin that locates the gasket is on that side. So maybe. He did it this way. And yep, almost. So be cautioned not to pinch any of the wires when you put that back on there. All right. Oh yes, there's a gasket that has to stay. And I can just wipe this side out. Clean it up better after I'm done. And start putting those screws back in. All right, and then we're gonna tighten these down. Let me see here. All right. Then, got to put some grease in there. So, he basically just went along. There wasn't much grease in here to begin with, and the guy on that other video I'm going to reference said you don't really need much here, so I'm not going to overdo it, but I want to make sure there's going to be enough. this piece, which, oh yes, I haven't cleaned that yet. So let's get some of the gunk out of there. So, and he did a super thorough job. He went through and took it all apart, took all the gears off. I don't think that's necessary, but it was nice that he did it. So that if you needed to, you could, or just felt like you wanted to. And so I think that's adequate. And so we're gonna make sure I get plenty of grease there. Okay, set that down. That wasn't so bad. But don't think it's all the way on. Or is it? I guess I gotta get a pin in here. Oh boy. Yep, I don't want to do that. I want to be careful. Oh, yeah, that's got to come down a little bit farther. Well, I'm in trouble. How's that going to go back on? Maybe. Haha. Isn't that tricky? All right, now I can put the pin back in. Had me scared there for a minute. Now all I got to do is find the pin. All right. start. All right. Well, I guess I know why he said to put it back on the base to do that. Because it might be easier to drive that pin back in once it's on the base. So, let's give that a go. All right. All right, let's see if I can get that pin in there. I wish I had the right kind of punch for this, but I don't. That looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. Okay. So then, let me just wipe it down before I put it back together. We'll give it a listen. Plug it back in and see if it works. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't tighten the base. Getting ahead of myself here. Getting ahead of myself here. So, got it all, almost all back together. Gonna put this on. And we're gonna fire this thing up and listen to it purr. Isn't that right? All right. Let's plug it in. So you can see, here's the speed regulator. See it move in and out. So I think it sounds a little bit better to me, at least, especially at the highest speed. Seems like it runs with a little bit less difficulty. So I'm going to say we have a success at regreasing this thing, or at least not a complete and utter failure. Put this cover back on, and we should be good to go. Done! Not a terribly difficult job. A little messier than I would want to deal with. I probably won't do it in a second time, but that's the end of that.